Happy Halloween, everybody. Well, it's the day before Halloween, but it's Halloween.
Which is one of Mallory's favorite holidays. I like it, but we'll see me on Christmas majorly going
I'm a spooky
crazy.
person, so I'm addicted to all of this.
She is very scary. Take my word for it.
Only in the morning. Without my coffee.
Well, welcome. We decided to have a little fun with Halloween, and we are going to do the scary side of mortgages. We're not going to really teach you anything, but we're going to kind of throw in some things that you probably shouldn't do if you're trying to get a mortgage, or if you're in process with a mortgage,
yep.
or anything like that. And if you do, we're going to put a spell on you. No.
Oh, I will be singing through this whole entire and doing movie quotes. I apologize right now. But like what you're saying, like, there is always a scary side to mortgages, whether it be from the buyer's standpoint, from a seller's standpoint, from the lender's standpoint. What we've seen, what borrowers have seen, it's a lot. It's a lot, and we just figured, Halloween, let's
have
spooky.
some fun.
Horror.
At all the R's. And we'll just leave it at that for you to think about that. So why do we want to do Mortgage Express? Well, we kind of talk about it every month. We just want to give you some information, maybe teach you a few things, maybe enlighten you into some things to do or don't do. And again, this one is supposed to be kind of fun. So let's get a little started. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about the agenda? But I do want to point out, you'll have a change a little bit later. Mallory made a little change a couple weekends ago.
We'll see if you can catch on to it at the very end. So on today's agenda, we're kind of going to go over our credit killers. Instead of serial killers, we're going to do credit killers. And we're going to do the 7 deadly mortgage sins. Because, everything happens. And, oh, geez, man. And then we're going to do tales from the Mortgage Crypt. So there will definitely be some times that we can tell you stories of, like, yes, this has happened. And let me tell you, it happens.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed. And what we try to do is we try to make it where you don't see some of it, unless it's something you have done. But, we obviously try to make going through the whole process seamless so you don't see it. One of my just past closings, we almost didn't get the condo approved in time and some other things, which is a scary thing for us, but the borrower never knew it. So we like those, but we're not really going to talk about many of those. We're going to talk about the stuff you guys do to us. So, yeah. So why don't we start with some credit killers? Okay.
So the first one we like to say is like Phantom of the Late Payments, and I can tell you I will sing Phantom of the Opera. I have already done it. Ashley and I have already done it making this presentation. And a lot of it is Phantom of Late Payments. Late payments are the worst that you can do. Even if it's just the minimum, just make the minimum payment. It doesn't need to be over. It doesn't need to go, you don't need to pay off more or anything. At the moment, just make a minimum payment. That's all. Because that's all we look at. We look at what you have missed, how long it has been, and then when it comes to, say you're purchasing a new home and you've already bought a home, we look at those payments as well. And if those are marked off as late or anything, those could come back and haunt you.
And they do stay on your credit for about 7 years. Of course, every year or the older they get, the less they affect your credit. But overall, it affects your credit about 35%. So you want to make sure, as Mallory said, just try to make at least the minimum payment. At least the minimum. So
always auto payment. Auto pay, love it.
That's a good spooky tip.
Yep. Set
up auto pay.
Set up auto pay.
But when you're doing auto pay, make sure you got the money in there for it to come out on auto pay.
That is true.
Because then it would be a missed payment, and then the credit does come back, and they will hit you with a late payment. So
that is correct.
So let's talk about number 2, Count Maxula. So maxing out your credit cards is not a good thing. A lot of people do. A lot of people have it maxed out now. We understand life. We do. do. But what it does is it affects your credit score again by about 35%. So if you can keep your balances to 30% or below, then that will help your credit score. We, again, as Mallory said, we don't necessarily look at how much debt you have or how much debt you can get. We're looking at how much you pay monthly, and that could be the minimum payment. And again, if you have them maxed, your minimum payment's a lot higher. If you don't, it goes down. But that is a major, major factor in your credit score. It can be a difference between a 602 and a 702, just in making sure your balances are paid 30% or below.
That's the magic numbers. I always say 30%. That is your magic number. Keep everything under 30%.
And that's kind of our tip, our little spooky tip for that, is to keep your usage low. Don't let it bleed you dry. Don't let your credit cards bleed you into, you know, a lower credit score. So anyway.
Zombie accounts. So those accounts that you don't know about and they just sit over there and you completely forget about them. Don't forget about them, because if you don't make those payments it trickles back to making the payments. If you don't, the oldest ones are the ones that are going to hit your credit the most, is because the way credit things they do is history and payments is mostly and utilization. Right. So your oldest credit history, those are very, very good for you.
Even if there's nothing on it, you want to make sure you keep a look at it, because sometimes you might, if you don't use that card for 2 years and you're thinking, I'm doing great because I don't use this card,
actually brings you down.
Well, it could bring it down.
Not
number one, you're not using it, but number two, that credit lender could say, well, they don't use the card, so we'll just cancel it. And you may never know. And it could have been one of the first credit cards you got when you were 19 years old, and you know, you never use it because it's only got $1,000 available credit, so you threw it aside.
But
if you use it once and pay it off, it continues to be active, and age is a very important, as Mallory said, a very important part of your credit. Age, that could be, you could be 35 years old and that credit card now has, since 19 or 20, now has 15, 16 years on it of good credit. It could offset that one newer card that maybe you did have a one time late. Or maybe you were on vacation and you forgot to make the payment or something like that. It could offset that. So one of the things to do is to always, you know, maybe keep all your credit cards in one spot. If you don't carry them all with you, maybe once a year, pull them out, take a look at them, make sure that there's no annual fees due. Because a lot of people forget that sometimes there's an annual payment due, and they think because they didn't use it, then that goes and now becomes a late payment. So you want to look at that as well.
That's how my I recently just paid off my car, and I was like so excited because, you know, you pay off your car, you're like, yes, I have no car payment anymore. But then you realize, wow, that was one of my longest credit histories. And then I just go, oh, yay, my credit's gonna go down just for a little bit, not craziness. And I'm like, man, if that could be the only one that doesn't do that, that would be great, because that's what I'm supposed to do, is I'm supposed to pay off that car.
and the fact that you didn't add a new payment, so I
got rid of one.
Even say it. I was going to say you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, kind of sometimes.
You know, but anyway, we'll say darned if you do, darned if you don't. How's that?
You know, golly gosh darn, it just doesn't fit sometimes.
You know, we call them, what do we call them? Sentence enhancers.
Sentence enhancers.
So anyway, and besides, it's a spooky day and we're all being bad anyway. So. So we're going to talk about a sorcerer or conjurer of new debt. So
I want a credit card. I want this one. I want this one. Oh, let's get them all in the mail and let's open them all at once. Please don't. Don't do that.
And that's true because, if you haven't had much credit and you do get a credit card, then all of a sudden there are these things called trigger leads and trigger notifications that credit companies get. And all of a sudden in the mail, like Mallory said, you've got a credit. Oh, wait, Discover wants to give me a card. Oh, Amex wants to give me a card.
Disney. I've gotten many.
Guess who likes Disney?
I've gotten many.
I'm not going to say who. But anyway, she used
very tempting.
She used to be so scared of the Beast. I'm telling you. Oh my God, she would scream.
Oh, I would.
And
still
snakes.
Still scared of Maleficent, the green one.
Oh yeah, that was
not a good day for me.
Yeah, when she finally went and saw the movie, she had to go with me, and she was like 30. Oh wait.
No, that was the Maleficent one. I'm good with that. I'm good with Angelina Jolie. I am so okay with her. The green face cartoon, I don't know what it is just like I can't do it.
She still can't do it.
Nope.
But anyway, so one of the things that we suggest is that you strategically decide about credit cards. Don't have 20 million, have 2 or 3, maybe 4, and then use them sparingly. Try to pay them off monthly. And as you do that, they sometimes will offer you higher credit limits. Take the higher credit limit on the card you currently have, unless you get an offer for a lower rate on your credit on a new way.
My bat friend decided to flip on me, and I kept seeing it out of the corner of my eye. I apologize.
I think I have a spider somewhere.
He's back here.
Okay. So anyway, try and do it strategically, and don't accept every single credit card that says yes. When you go looking at furniture and they say, "Oh, we have 0% for this." Don't accept every single offer that comes your way. Try and be strategic about it.
Yeah.
And and then that way your credit doesn't go crazy on you.
A little bit of what I've done personally is whatever comes in the mail, don't look at that, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to sign up and get you another card and get you another card. Like you said, go with who you have at the moment. See if they can either bump you up a little bit, increase the limit. I know when I've always paid off my credit cards, even if I try to do it on a monthly basis at all times. But when you do that, they did it to me automatically. I didn't even ask for it. So that's where it's kind of like go with that. Also, look at your interest rates, because you may already have a high interest rate. Yes, it may be a little bit lower, but also those rewards, the rewards are what get
the
people
rewards,
sometimes.
and also in addition to that, the age of the credit card you have. So that makes a big difference.
Your older one is going to be a lot better.
And then look at what's good about the credit card you're looking at buying and what's not. There are some cards, Capital One, for example, if you go out of the country, they automatically change the rate for you. They do it all for you. They don't call you. They don't say, you don't have to call them and say, I'm going
leaving
here, I'm going there. And then even when you do call them, they still want to call you and say, is it okay? Is this fraud? And then your purchase is denied. So, look at the good things, look at the rewards, look at all the different things involved. And maybe just because the credit, maybe you pay 19% on one credit card, maybe 18%, may not be the best reason to take that card. Something like that.
Yeah.
So let's start with the 7 deadly sins of mortgages. This could be fun.
Oh, this is a lot of story time now, I can tell you already.
So we've decided to do evens and odds, and I'm kind of odd apparently, so I get the odd ones. So number 1, let's put pride in there. So, and we all are doing this in fun. So when we say things like other names, we all know what the 7 deadly sins are. We're not trying to be kind of gross and whatever about it.
We're relating everything to Halloween.
We're just having it a little fun. So anyway, let's assume that you say, I got this. I don't need to tell my lender everything. So, maybe you own more property, or maybe you own property that doesn't have a mortgage on it, or something that you think we don't need to know. We need to know everything, because let me just tell you, we're going to find it out. You may not put that property on your credit application, but we have to pull several different investigative things, and believe me, it comes out. It comes out somewhere down the road. Making major financial decisions like, okay, I've applied because I have this great job and somebody told me I have to be at the same job for 2 years, but I've gotten offered this other job and I'm supposed to make more money, but it's in a different line of work. So I'm just not going to say anything.
Yeah, don't be afraid to tell us that, because that actually helps us navigate what we are going to do in your loan.
To help that.
And to help that. We are guiding you to do all. And to be honest, that happens a lot where it's, I'm doing a different work, I'm doing this, and I'm like, that's okay.
For certain programs, it could be okay. We just want to make sure that you tell us, because it's a lot easier to head it off at the pass and have the answer than it is to get blindsided with something that we knew nothing about, especially when we have to go back and tell your realtors. So it could cause a lot of chaos in the underwriting. It could cause chaos in your purchase. And the last thing we want to do is give you an approval. You've made an offer on a house, everything's going fine, and then we have to deny your loan and you can't get it. So tell us everything. We're not going to judge you, because believe me, we've seen it all.
We've seen all the scary. Greed. I want that new furniture for my home. I want a new car. I want to go on vacation while I'm purchasing a home, or right after I've purchased a home. And a big one that we have always seen, it's inevitable, it always happens, is that they open up a line of credit or a credit card right when they're almost done with the mortgage process. If they're in the middle of buying a home, they're like, I'm going to open up that, I'm going to go buy all the furniture
for my new house that I don't have yet.
I always tell my customers, do not touch anything, don't move anything, don't open up anything. Let's get the house first. Let's sign that dotted line. Let's send everything. Then you can go get it. Well, that way, you're also, if you're buying furniture and something happens and you schedule a delivery, you may not even be in the home yet.
Well, and the other thing to that, to go on with that, is we may not pull your credit again, but we could. And if it shows up and if it blows your ratios out of proportion, then something,
our hands are tied at that point. We can't do anything.
Even if Rooms to Go tells you there's no interest and no payments for 60 months, there is still a balance, and we have to hold 5% or 1% or 1.5% or whatever it is on the program as a debt against you, and it could throw you out. So don't do that.
We don't want to do that.
So lust. I couldn't resist. I can't resist. The shiny new car, or the great low credit, or the low payment on this new credit card. Don't do it. Just remember what we said about the last ones. I don't care what you do later on down the road. If you need something later, if it's not something you have to have right this minute, don't do it. Just remember that. Don't do it, because if you go out to look at that car and maybe you don't buy it, and that salesman said, "Oh, come on in, let's see how much we can get you." They'll pull a hard credit inquiry. And I have so many people who say, they didn't do that. I told them not to pull your credit. Well, when that little guy walks back and sits down at the desk and says, "We can get you $10,000, or we can get you $50,000. Guess what he just did?
Pulled your credit.
Pulled your credit. So don't do it. Don't do it.
Take your time. Just one step at a time.
Yep.
Envy. they've got help with their down payment. I'll just deposit cash too. Depositing large amounts of money. It is tracked. It is sourced. Let us tell you when to do what you need to do.
When to do, what to do. As we keep going back and forth and saying, don't do anything until we tell you what to do and how to do it. There's several reasons we're doing this.
That is
documentation.
Documentation, because if all banks, everybody, anything that has to do with financial institutions, $2,500 and up is documented, no matter what it is. Now, say, for an example, I actually had an application come in and we're going over everything. I call and say, hey, where's your money for your down payment coming from? A cashier's check. Sure. I need to know where that is.
Where does that cashier's check come from?
Where is it coming from? Is it coming from one bank or two banks? Which you are allowed to do. You can have money come from one and come from another. We just need to know where it's at. I've had hidden money where it just kind of shows up out of nowhere.
We call that mattress money. That's hidden in the side. Somebody says, oh, that's from my safety deposit box. Okay.
Do they even have those anymore?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, actually, here's a story. So a friend of mine's dad, this isn't funny, but he passed away several years ago, and he never used credit. He only paid cash for everything.
Cash and carry.
And he gave her a key to his safety deposit box and said, if anything happens to me, this is you. They went and got it. They had so much cash in the safety deposit box, and they had to sit all over. There was like $300,000. I wish I had somebody like that, but that didn't happen. And $300,000, and they had it all spread out, and then they had to go to the bank and explain where it came from when they deposited it in the bank. Because let me tell you what, they're going to track that, because anything, as Mallory said, over $2,500, $10,000 you have to sign a paper and they send it to the government. We look at anything a lot of times over, like you said, the $2,500. Depends on how much you make, that kind of thing, if it's out of the ordinary. But the government wants to know where that money is. And everybody says, I don't have to tell the government. Nobody. Well, you do, because guess what? They want to know. They want to know if you're a drug dealer. They want to know if you're laundering money. That's the scary stuff. Yes.
Yes, and I can tell you, that's why I say 2,500 is the magic number. Just think of it, 2,500. It's getting recorded. It's somebody's looking at it. Somebody is doing something.
Right.
So the depositing of large. Just listen to us. We'll figure it out. We'll tell you how much is what's not going to be, what our underwriter is going to look at and go, what's that? What's this? What's this? And it's more paperwork. It's more of everything. So just listen.
Yeah, and if you think you're getting around us by doing like affirms and things like that, you're not. We're going to find it, because guess where they take the money from? Your bank account. And if you have 3 months that says affirm, 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 we're going to say, what is this? How much do you pay? How much longer? And
why
yada,
is it
yada,
recruiting?
Yada. Right. So, yeah, just tell us. Again, just tell us. Just tell us. Just tell us. All right. So, and I got to tell you, so doing these 7 deadly sins things always remind me of that movie that Brad Pitt was in. It was so good. But
the ending will never get me. The ending of that movie will replay in my mind for life. Because I was stunned. And every time I say these, I think of like that particular part in the movie. But anyway, so we're gonna move on. I know, right? So gluttony. We're gonna equate that to the more credit I have, the better. A lot of people think if I have a whole bunch of credit and I keep getting more, it means I'm a good credit risk. It doesn't. Nope.
Sometimes if you have too much credit and you have it all maxed, not a good thing. Mm-hmm. Or if you have too much credit And available credit. Some people have so many credit cards that they have like $40,000 available. Well, that little computer algorithm, when we go in to put you in, you may pay those on time, you may have low balances, but they're also going to look at the fact that you could get yourself into a big heap of mess if you maxed all of those out and maxed out your available or your qualifications. So if we tell you you can qualify for this $500,000 house, and then you turn around and max out $40,000 in credit cards, you no longer qualify. So don't turn around and think everything more credit is better. It's not always better. That's why I was saying keep it down to 4 to 5 credit cards. We have done loans for people that have 10 and 20 credit cards. We're not saying that, but it's not always a good thing.
Yes.
So.
Wrath. Oh boy. Have you ever gotten really mad and said, like, perfect example, I had a borrower that has solar panels on their home.
But they didn't tell me it was a mortgage.
They didn't tell me it was a mortgage. They didn't tell me it was a lien on the house. And I said, I understand that. Well, also, their company is going bankrupt. That means I don't need to pay it. Oh, no. You still need to pay it because it is on your credit. It's also a lien on your home.
Title. Yes.
Yes, it's a lien on your home. Now, I mean, this can go for other things. This all comes from your bank account or from your credit cards and saying, hey, like I don't agree. I don't agree that I made this purchase, but it's on there and they haven't disputed it yet and they haven't taken it off. I'm not paying for it. They can always reimburse you. Okay, it's easier to reimburse you than for you to get a late payment and then try to fix it. That's so much harder. I'd rather them give you money than you get a late payment and it's hitting you. Now, back with the solar company. Moral of that story, just because the business is going bankrupt doesn't mean you don't owe on what you have agreed to pay. Because what's going to happen is somebody else is going to take that loan and have the money and service that loan. The company may have gone under, but they're still going to get the money that they gave you for everything else. You still got all of the equipment, you still have everything else, so technically you still have to pay that. So it's...
In other words, if you sign up for a debt, pay it. And eventually, if the company that buys it out says, you only owe us half of what you originally paid for, then you get the answer you need. You don't get to decide whether you do or do not pay the debt that you chose to pay.
Correct.
So, okay, last one, sloth. We all kind of feel like we don't want to do anything, and we're all going to be a little lazy. Do not be lazy with getting us your documents. When we ask for something and you're buying a home and you've told us I need to close in 15 days, well, if you don't get me documents for 5 to 7, I can't make your closing date. And then what's going to happen is that realtor is going to say, you told me you could close in 15 days. And I'm going to turn around and tell them, your borrower, who you, did not give me your documents in time. Because you know what? I'm not getting thrown under the bus.
That is right. We have that a lot. And again, it's, I'll eventually get to it. I'll send it. And then in 3 days, you've got people
calling,
hitting you up,
texting,
saying, hey,
emailing.
Where's my stuff? Guilty. That is me. I will do it pretty much every single day. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I will be your worst enemy if you don't give me my stuff. Because I want everything so you can do nothing. Give me everything so you can do nothing. That's what I want from you.
Right.
But that has to come with, you got to help me out. I can't drive to your home and make you do it.
Let me help you. So, yeah, and again, the other part to that is, if we ask you for February, March, and April's bank statement, don't send me December, January, and February, because that's what you can find and that's what you can think. And then you only send me 3 pages of the 5 pages because there's nothing on the other pages. Well, if at the bottom of that bank statement says 1 of 5, I need 5 pages.
Yes.
All the pages that there are.
And
so
please don't mark them. Please don't do the.
Oh, don't
the
mark
bank
out your
accounts.
bank account number.
Don't do that, please.
Don't send us your paycheck and you've blacked out your social security number.
Those give me a lot. The ones
That is how we know it's yours. Not just with your name, but it's yours.
That's when the paychecks get me so much, because I love when they just send me like, look, it's in my bank account. And I said, especially when people are either hourly,
right,
salary, and I'm like, I understand that, but I need to know how many hours you worked.
Well, that and what gets deposited in your account is your net, not your gross.
Exactly.
You definitely want us to use your gross income because it gives you more buying power, not your net income. So anyway, so that's our lovely 7 deadly sins. So let's have some fun. So we're going to tell you some tales from the crypt. So these are mortgage actual scenarios that have happened. And you know, we're not going to do a little Q&A after this like we usually do, but we would love to hear any stories you may have done or heard of or other people, and maybe moving forward when we think of even more, we'll go and we'll put them on online, let you see them, all of that.
Yes.
So Mallory, tell us about some unmentioned real estate.
This brings me back to my processing days, where I unfortunately worked with a loan officer who didn't really do a lot of digging. And I am a female. I find everything. My husband cannot find anything, or can't hide anything from me.
That was tip number 1. Go ahead.
And me doing my research, which I always do, because I don't like things that are going to nip me in the butt later. I hate it.
Again,
can't do
tell us all the information. But
I found out, so I get the credit. I call, okay, Mickey, calm down.
That's Minnie.
Sorry, Minnie.
I got Minnie on my watch. Sorry.
So as I'm pulling the credit and I'm looking at everything, I see two mortgages. And I had already known about the one because they said they were selling their current home and then they were going to buy another one. And I said, sir, you have another mortgage. I don't have another mortgage.
You need to unlock your iPhone first.
Oh, I guess I have to unlock my iPhone. I don't know what that meant.
Oh, do.
Oh, it's going to be a fun day. And so when I looked on his credit, I said, no, sir, you're joint with another person. What is this? Oh, that's my mother's. I helped my mother get another home.
I co-signed. It's
It's
not my house. Guess what?
It's your house, and now we can find out and show underwriters that say, yes, he is a part of this mortgage, but he does not pay it. Somebody else, he was just there for a cosigner. That we can do if we can prove it. But I see everything. Even if you own it free and clear, those are the good ones. Free and clear. In my processing days, I had signups, especially in Lee County, where I can look up the liens on houses. I found it. I found it right there. You still own it. Now, it may be under a title of different, say if you're he was a real estate agent or investor.
LLC.
And it was in an LLC.
You still own it.
You still own it. You own that.
And
it's
you
still
have a
under your name.
payment.
And you have to pay it, even if you own it free and clear. Now, even if you own it free and clear, we're okay with that. But we need to factor in that you're paying your real estate taxes and your insurance that we have to include.
Right.
into your debt.
And we get a lot of times calls, and I'm sure you got this. Why do you need to have my insurance on the house that I own that's not your business? Well, that's how we prove that you do own it free and clear,
Yes.
because there is a spot on your declaration page that says lien holder. And if there's nothing marked there, we know you don't.
Yes.
So I had a guy who did go out and buy a car. He had applied. Actually, it wasn't a car. It was lawn equipment. Sorry, it was a big tractor mower, because he
Basically
owned
a car.
Yeah, it was big, because it was like 40 grand. Because it was for his lawn business.
Oh,
that
gosh,
he didn't
I was
tell me
gonna say.
he had. But he had other income. So what he had done, he and his wife had both applied. So we closed them in December, like the middle of December. At the beginning of December, they had applied for this lawn equipment. Well, we didn't pull their new credit, and we didn't do anything at the end. Well, guess what? Their loan was pulled for audit before it got sold. And by that I mean they randomly pull loans, and they are allowed to do that. You can say it's not a fair.
It's random. It is not up to
As long
us.
as it's random.
It's not.
Correct.
We have no idea until it's happening.
And so what came up was the inquiry for the wife had come up on the credit report. She had written a letter, nothing, got no new debt. So then after the fact, they audited the file. Guess what? They in fact did get something, and he had applied for something. So they got 2 new debts with each like a total of $800. Oh, the business pays that. Okay, but you're a Schedule C. You're not an LLC, so it's not in the business name. It's in that, and you did not have the debt for more than 12 months, so we can't show and not hold that debt against you. They recalled their loan. They told us they had 2 choices. We either have to refinance and make sure they qualify, or they have to put more money down or show more income. Let me tell you what, they kept saying, well, it doesn't matter, we've already signed. And I said, it does matter, it does. So luckily, she had gotten a promotion. He had gotten, again, a promotion as well. In addition to, he had actually been doing this lawn business, and rolling into January, it had now been 2 years. So we were now able to use that income. We did refinance him, but the whole rigmarole never needed to happen if he had just told me and been honest and said, we got 2 new pieces of lawn equipment.
Yep. For the business, and you can tell us it's for the business. It's okay. Nobody is going to bash you or anything about it. We just need to know so that doesn't happen.
Correct. We're not out to hurt you. We're out to help you. So
he quit his job weeks ago. Oh, good Lord. Yes, that has happened. That has happened because what
numerous
happens
times.
Because what happens when you get to the end of your loan, they ask you for an updated pay stub within 30 days of you closing that loan.
And we do a verbal verification within 15 days.
I had one where they came back and they said he quit his job. Quit or fired? I was like, wait a second, hold on. Quit or fired? Because if you're fired, I understand, like, we can try to find something out, we can do.
And hopefully you've gotten a new job.
When you've quit the job just because you don't like it and you don't have anything, that's where we have an issue, because we based everything off of what you're making at the moment and what you're going to be making, because you are still employed, we thought. And you seem to be not employed anymore.
I've got one that was even better. So,
oh boy.
So, I have been a what do you call it? A realtor, whatever. No, not a realtor. She was getting paid. She was on commission, and she was getting paid as a W-2 employee. So, like a lot of lenders, get paid their commission on a W-2, which means all my taxes are taken out, all of that. She went with another company as a lender, and she was now a 1099 employee, which means you are self-employed. I'm not self-employed. I work for this company.
I get a 1099.
1099 means you got to pay taxes at the end of the year. You're now self-employed, and I can no longer use your old income, because now you have to be that way for 2 years. So again, don't change, don't do anything. Let us know, please let us know. And if you absolutely hate your job, please wait till later after you're done closing on your loan. I think the last one I kind of want to touch on, and this was just happened to me like 3 months ago.
Oh boy.
So, and I had been working with this person for 6 to 8 months. She was trying to get assistance. She'd been approved through the county.
Oh, I remember.
Through the county for assistance, which means she gave documentation to the county. And then we get to the end, and I'm asking for, I need tax returns. She gave me, so we started with her, this was like back in April, so she had not filed her 2024 tax returns yet. She had filed 2023, and then she went and filed her 2024 because we needed to average 2 years because she was self-employed. And she gave me these tax returns. Then I asked, we have to get what's called a 4506, which means, again, we go to the government, IRS, and we pull the tax returns that you gave us. Guess what? They weren't the same. She had given me fake tax returns because she showed on her tax returns what she needed to qualify. But that also meant she had to pay taxes. So instead of submitting those tax returns, she gave them to me, and then she submitted, or she had other tax returns. Come to find out, she had submitted to the IRS other tax returns. And in getting through all of this, after almost 6 months of working with her, come to find out that the 2024 that she had given me, that she said she filed, she had never ever filed. So she had given fraudulent documentation through the whole thing, and I went, stop. We can't do this. Well, what do I need to fix it?
Nothing.
File tax returns that are real. Give me those, and if you qualify, we can use those. But then she kept fighting with me, telling me that H&R Block did them wrong. Everybody did them wrong. It was everybody else's fault. And then when I said, you do realize you have turned these in to the county, which is the government, and they will go after you. I said, I'm not even going to submit these. And she all of a sudden got very quiet. She told me she was going to get me everything within a week. It's now been 3 months, and I haven't spoken to her since, because she doesn't answer her calls. She doesn't answer anything because she never got the right documentation, because she was giving me tax returns that helped her qualify, but filing tax returns that she did not have to pay taxes on. Don't do that. Don't make it worse for you, because I'm not getting in trouble for you. I love you, and I'm going to help you get a loan, but I'm not getting in trouble for you. So anyway.
You saying those documents just brings up the one, remember that I told you last year?
Oh, yeah.
Which again, this was before I became a loan officer, and I was still in the processing and the assistant part of it. And I will tell you this just because it's a very
commonplace.
It's a common thing that you need to watch out for, and this is what we look, and this is why it happens. We have, for like, if you watched our DSCR, our investors webinar, how there's different ones. We were doing a DSCR loan. Gentleman was refining on a condo that he had bought, enough to purchase a home that he was going to do investment, which is okay. You're allowed to do that. If it works, we can get that to work. We had one of the conditions that they ask for when they do it, especially with this lending partner that we were working with. It was not here. was they needed leases. They needed leases for the condos that they were doing. Now, they were remodeling the leases, and they had just gotten done with all of the remodel. Well, we thought was done. Sign red flag number 1. All of a sudden, these leases, there were no leases. We don't have them yet. We haven't had anybody, sign up. We haven't done anything. We haven't posted them or anything. I look on Zillow. It's for rent. Okay, well, you have it for rent. So has nobody gotten there? What do you have a current lease that you're going to be offering of how much it was going to be? That could work. We can work whatever, everything. All of a sudden, I turn around the next day and there's 3 leases all in the same day. All signed the same day. All deposited cash same day. Interesting. Okay. I get this. Me doing my due diligence because now that I have these documents in my hand and they are in front of me, I am now looking everything up. I am looking up who this person is, who the person is renting. Mm-hmm. They are no real people. They are vaguely off of famous people. Just a few different names changed. So I said, major red flag, stop. Hands off. Hands up. We're done. I need to take this over here. At that time, and that was to my manager at the time, I said, this smells fishy. And if it smells like a fish, it probably is a fish. I gave it to her, and at that time, one of the appraisals from the condos come in. It's not finished.
It was it didn't even have drywall up, did it?
No.
So no one could live there.
Nobody could live there. And I said, crazy how you have leases that start, and I forgot to mention that the leases had started
the month before.
They just hadn't moved in yet because they were moving all of their stuff in. How are you living in a condo that's not done, that has no drywall, that's not fixed up? Red flag, red flag, red flag. So, moral of the story is, be careful with what you're giving your lenders, because once we have those documents, and then we have to either submit them.
Right.
Once they're submitted, we can't take them back. Now, if you come to us and say, look, we don't have leases or anything, but we want to do it, what can we do? Again, talk to us. We can figure it out.
Let us put it together, because that's the way we can. Like Mallory said, don't try to sneak things in. Don't try to do things. We are going to find out.
I will find out.
I'm a mom, and I was married, and I can find out anything.
I find out everything.
Mallory,
just because I'm nosy and I like to know everything. I like to know what's going on, who I'm dealing with. I find out everything.
And that is, and again, you want us to be doing that because you want us to catch it before it goes anywhere.
Yes.
Because once, like Mallory said, once it goes to our investor or our underwriter, we cannot take it back. And there's no fixing it at that point.
No.
So tell us the truth. Let us do the loan.
Yes.
And we can avoid all this scary stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, in conclusion, there is a lot of scary stuff that happens to us. And this isn't even the stuff that happens to you guys that you say happens from us to you. Just be honest. Tell us the truth. We're here to make your loan. We want to give you a loan. So help us help you get that loan. Show me the money. No, sorry. Oh, wrong season, not even in there. So if you've got any questions, thank you first for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And if you've got any questions, we hope you had as much fun as we did doing this.
Yes.
And wearing all the get-ups and all that. And you can reach out to us at our information here, right here. But this is me. But this is right here. So if you can guess what happened to Mallory in the last couple weeks, she added a ring to her finger.
I did. I got married.
And that is scary.
Not as scary as you. only thing that is scary is trying to change the last name and go anywhere and figure. Oh, it's just a pain in the butt, man. I'm just like,
know.
why? Why is it so hard for us, but not the guys?
I know. Well, you could have stayed Mallory Geraci.
Yeah, no.
She
I
spent
wanted
her whole
the new
life
one.
waiting to get rid of that. Because let me tell you, when she was a kid growing up, Mallory Garcia, how you get Garcia out of Geraci, I'll never know. Mallory, Mallory. That's a good one,
that
too.
was a fun
You can't
one.
change that one, though.
No.
But anyway, give us a call if there's anything you need. We'd love to do your loan. We'd love to help you, walk you through it. You have any questions?
Don't be our scary story, please.
Yeah, don't. And you know, if you have a scary story from another lender that didn't help you, call me. We have a lot of deal saves as well. We can save some deals. We know some ins and outs. We've been doing it so long that sometimes it just takes a little bit of thinking to figure out how to fix it.
Yes.
And we can do that too. So happy Halloween. Have a great one. Take the kiddos out. Give out candy. All that.
Bye.